Unfortunately, as you can see, I cannot be with you today but I'm always happy to see young students from all over Europe interested in EU topics. While it can be easy to feel disconnected from the decisions which are decided in Brussels, Strasbourg, the reality is that these decisions have a significant impact on our daily lives. Europe is facing a number of complex challenges, from climate change, energy crisis, to the ongoing war in Ukraine. By getting involved in European politics, you can help shape the policies that are affecting our lives and the lives of those around you. If we want to create a better future, we need to be actively engaged in the political process. Whether it is through joining political party organizations, participating in protests, or simply staying informed and voting in elections, there are many ways to get involved in European politics. Getting involved in the student council not only allows you to have a say in these decisions, but will also help you develop important skills such as critical thinking, public speaking, and collaboration. You will learn to articulate your evidence, to listen and engage with people who have different perspectives, and to work towards common goals. However, the student council is also a moment where you will find new friends and discover the beautiful city of Strasbourg. So let us take advantage of this opportunity to engage with European politics together and work towards creating a brighter future for us.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous, cher monsieur Plenary, mesdames et messieurs les enseignants, puis surtout chers élèves et tous chers représentants d'ailleurs des élèves des différentes théories. Je vais essayer de parler doucement, vous faites des grands signes si je parle trop rapidement. Voilà. C'est avec un immense plaisir que nous accueillons en Alsace, à Strasbourg, capitale européenne, et puis dans ce bel hémicycle, dans ce prestigieux hémicycle du Parlement européen. Alors, c'est dans cette enceinte que les adultes, les élus, continuent de construire d'ailleurs cette identité européenne que vous avez d'ailleurs tous les adultes. Et c'est naturellement que les élèves, comme vous, avez votre place pour aussi la réflexion de la jeunesse européenne. Je tiens sincèrement à remercier d'ailleurs M. Caburet pour cette initiative et qui permet à des élèves d'échanger un certain nombre de sujets. Donc cette 8e édition du European Student Council, vous avez travaillé sur les réseaux sociaux. Alors, je me souviens, que la création des réseaux sociaux avait un idéal de les gens les uns aux autres. Mais l'homme a quelques défauts, l'humain a quelques défauts, et se manifeste aussi à travers l'utilisation des réseaux sociaux, qui quelquefois, au lieu de réunir les gens, participent à l'activité. Donc, on sait qu'on ne pourra pas revenir. Les réseaux sociaux qui ont toujours existé. Donc, la meilleure façon de pouvoir cohabiter les réseaux sociaux, c'est d'avoir de l'intelligence, d'être éduqué et d'avoir une réflexion sur de manière à ce que ça ne confisque pas le débat, mais que ça puisse au contraire. Pour Pour avoir échangé avec M. Caluret en préparant l'intervention, je sais que les travaux pendant la semaine ont été intenses. J'appelle les lieux d'ailleurs pour avoir sur les travaux passés. J'appelle de mes voeux à ce que vos conclusions, ce que j'ai présenté tout à l'heure, puissent servir aux décideurs qui sont ici, et qui puissent aussi contribuer à changer le modèle quotidienne des Européens. Parce que finalement, vous êtes une génération qui est née avec ces réseaux sociaux. Nous, on est plus vieux, on a vécu sans les réseaux sociaux et on vit avec les réseaux sociaux. Donc on compte sur vous pour pouvoir donner un petit peu de façon de créer ces réseaux qui peuvent être vus évidemment positivement. Voilà, je ne vais pas être plus long parce que le but c'est que vous puissiez échanger, partager tous les travail, faire acte de démocratie et lire. Je vais vous laisser à vos activités. Je vous remercie et je vous félicite encore pour ces séances de travail en espérant que vous allez pouvoir aussi bien visiter cette magnifique illustration. Bonne continuation, bons travaux, félicitations.
Dear students and teachers,
Dear deputies,
dear Mr. Sébastien Maté and Mr. Cabaret,
dear all, our amazing journey is coming to an end, as all good things do.
endings are usually sad, but it's everything in between that makes it all worth living. Bob Marley once said, and we certainly agree with him now more than ever. We can't help but look back and appreciate all the unique moments we shared together throughout the past few days.
It's been a hell of a ride, or extremely amazing in other words. To get to know all of you better and to also get a taste for your beloved cultures.
It's really incredible how we all live in our own little worlds, but at the end of the day, we're more similar than we would like to admit. At this point, we must also remark the lovely city, Strasbourg, and our new families that hosted our laughs, our talks, and our hikes that made us feel welcome.
Strasbourg is now a place that will forever carry our memories, and we will too carry its beauty and warmth in our hearts.
If you ask us how we feel after participating in the ESC, beyond our tears, we will tell you that we leave this council with utter gratitude and optimism.
Through our conferences, we realize what it really means to be part of something bigger, something greater. Part of a democratic place that encourages our ideas, that lets our voices be heard, and allows young people to prove their significance.
It's really emotional and hopeful how powerful young minds are when united, when given the opportunity to reveal their creativity and sensibility.
And in an age full of social difficulties, that's exactly what matters, and what the world would like to see.
We don't know what the future holds, but we surely know is that a journey directed by open-minded people like you and like us has already reached safely its destination.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your devotion, and thank you for your uniqueness.
We are not over yet.
See ya.
Thank you very much.
I think the Secretary General would like to say some words and comments.
Good morning to everybody. I think that the President and Vice President said all, but I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all too. And you permit us to grow as European citizens. We grow all together as European citizens. We
It's
grow.
very difficult for me.
grow all together as a European citizens. And so thanks to the president of European, and I also thank Monsieur Cabinet that permits to our education. And so that thanks specifically the clarification from Sabota, and also who have been answer the teacher complete answer and who have been the director Valentina Di Sorbo and the teacher. Thanks. Sorry. Sorry. Thank you. Give justice to your right of the
Um, so it's now time for the report of the activity. I didn't get information about the report of the activity. I don't know who is supposed to come and present the report of the so, come and speak. If not, it will be published on the website after. But I know we so they should easily understand that what he. Yeah, I can present I can submit. Yes.
I take it to the game.
What? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Our workshop was workshop number one. It was about our workshop was workshop number one about first the quote, which says everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but to his own facts. Basically, facts are facts, they can be changed, but everyone has their opinion about them. It's important to distinguish between disinformation and misinformation. Disinformation is spread into society, so it's spread intentionally, and AI, artificial intelligence, takes an important role. For example, pictures have recently been posted on social media, which can make you think things which are not really true. Misinformation is inaccurate information, which usually comes from ignorance. So opinions which are not based on true information, true fact. Some examples are conspiracy theories, like the anti-vaccine movement. Well, I'm sure you've all seen many people in the streets with propaganda against the vaccines, which is not really based on true facts, because I mean, you know that many people have taken the vaccine, but it's sometimes based on ignorance. And then fake news. Some examples are propaganda, clickbait, many others. They're dangerous because they can be widely spread through social media. So as we were saying, people are open to information which can't be true, and they don't really notice when they receive this information. Because nowadays, with social media and technology, you're constantly receiving information. What I advise you is to read beyond the headline. Many times, newspapers, they're made intelligently so that you only read the headline, and it's important to check the sources of information which supports the piece of news. Check what I just said. Check the source of information. Make sure it's not outdated. So, basically, based on the information which appeared a long time ago, and make sure that it has true information. Your opinion is affected by information used daily. So basically, what I said before. The bias is important, which basically means that it's your point of view, respecting any piece of information. Your point of view depends on what you see daily, on what your parents have told you, educated. So it's quite funny to see how different people see pieces of news depending on what their opinion is. Teens, especially, are prone to fall in the trap of believing the fake news, as we were saying other days, because they're not really experienced on that field, and because social media makes us believe it. Spreading misinformation recently has become very easy with social media, images especially, have been spread out. And, it is easy to for example, I don't know, not long ago, an image of Donald Trump being arrested was spread. And the effects of the images, if you just scroll it down quickly, you won't probably realize it's fake news. So you should be careful. Obviously, it's quite difficult to spot all of them. So we're going to pull the trap of fake news. But I think the social media and yourself, sorry, and yourself to not believe all of them. And that's all. I just wanted you to know what it's about. And
Is there anyone else who wants to make a report about another workshop or before? Is there anyone who want to comment, make a comment about the workshop? This workshop this week. Okay. Any question from someone who did not assist the workshop? Anyone else to present another report, or we go to the national issue with Marta Santos? Please.
Can I speak from
Yeah.
International Issues Committee? We share our problems and concerns about the different schools.
Very, very slow. If you can speak just like the way I speak right now.
Especially concerning the countries present in the committee, Greece, Italy, Portugal, Romania, and Central European countries. There were progress on topics that they like with me. Therefore, there are a lot of important professions in our society. Many students talk about feeling that children really care about the arts. For example, there's too much focus on that paying attention. They feel like there's nothing to be done to change that. Notice teacher, but it was still feeling of all the students. Why examining on our opinion, there were two major problems. The lack of mutual respect between students and teachers, where without respect from one side, the other one also doesn't respond in the best way. And the salaries that make people give up from being a teacher, and the tiredness that is associated with this profession. Also, there was discussed in the educational program, the education program. It was said that students sometimes can be lost when it's time to choose a university comes, because there is nobody helping them to choose their own path for the future. It was suggested that students, before entering to high schools or universities, could have counseling from a professional to help them get guidance before the process of taking big decisions and changes in the student's life. It already exists in some countries, like Portugal, where in not all of them, like the example of Greece. The way of entering to the new university was also debated. In most countries, students thought that it's needed an exam to take access to the university. Although some countries it's made an average between the grade of the work of the past years, like tests, presentation, quizzes, and the grade of the exam, there's 50 or 60, 40% university in the area of study. However, countries like also the example of Greece, the exam is worth 100% of the grade entries of the university, not giving the deserved worth to the work done in the past years, and increasing the students' levels of stress that be ready for a special day that will define their future life. Students' conditions were the last topic debated. It was said that in many places around the European Union, schools, the students didn't have the right conditions to work. Like the school windows were broken, doors broken, students had to take blankets because of the cold, no canteens, no gymnasiums to practice physical education, neither computers nor projectors to present the workplace as the teachers. This, everything that was discussed, although the time was short, these are some crucial points that should be taken into consideration as being some of the major problems seen by students all over in the European Union. Thank you.
Any questions or comments? Feel free. It's your council. You should feel free to talk. So it's no time to award the Malala Prize 2023. Sorry. If someone of the first group want to present the slide share, I left my seat. For the first candidates. Just a present.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Leonardo Vico from Italy.
I'm Nicola from Greece.
I'm Joseph from Portugal. And today we're presenting the first candidate for our prize, who Let's see. Franca Viola. So let's see who is Franca Viola. She was born in 1948 in the rural town of Alcamo, 1962, when she was just 15, she became engaged to Filippo Melodia, nephew of a local mafia boss, but she didn't want to. Her family imposed that to her. Then he was arrested for that, and her broke the engagement with her family's approval, but he left for Japan. In 1965, after going back to Buffalo, Melina sought treatment her father and her new boyfriend, moving to the apartment of US again. December 26, Melodia and his friends kidnapped and brought her. January the 2nd, 1966, Franca was released and 8 kidnappers arrested. She then took the rapist to court. She was the first Italian woman to do it because she refused the rehabilitative marriage. And you know that in Italy, a rapist could marry the right person repair the mistake made. 1967, Melodia was found guilty and sentenced to 11 years in prison. The other kidnappers received mild sentences. 1968, Viola married Giuseppe Luisi, who always supported her. 1976, Melodia got out of prison and was sent from Sicily for his seismic mafia. He was killed years later by members of another mafia clan. 2014, Franca Viola was awarded the title of Merito della Repubblica, who means Great Officer of the Order to the Merit of the Italian Republic. And today, she resides in Sicily with her husband, 2 sons, and 1 children, like an humble grave.
Her fight for human rights. Here is a picture of a practice trial that he explains to the judges what happened while she was kidnapped. Viola is considered the first Italian to use the rehabilitative marriage of Maria Italian up to complete. She had the courage to act against what was the common practice in society at the time, according to traditional social norms. The choice would make her a shameless woman, as she implied in the The Article 544 was issued by the Minister of Justice during Mussolini's government in 1931. The law considered sexual violence as a crime against morality, but mind. Who commits the crime of rape can marry a raped person in order not to case. Article 544 of the Italian Penal Code. Under sexual violence became a crime against the person in 1996.
So now in relation to the consequence of our actions, also just in 1981, especially things we also this shows a clear relation of women's rights. So trying to become a symbol of women's emancipation. Her story inspired songs, books, and films. And here are some examples. from the queen without the king, the hook not and the film the previous song. Why she should win this prize? Why she is so role not only for the young generation but also for the old just the evolution of the whole country of this practical deserves a recognition for fight against violence against violence, sexual harassment, intelligence, and sexist world practice. Her story combines unique courage and determination to achieve challenges and develop society. So here are the list of persons that dedicated their time to this presentation. And for attention.
Don't be shy. Okay, no questions. Thank you so much again.
So you sure don't have any question for this candidate? We have one question.
I just wanted to ask if she also played only, was this only women is also so as well.
Yeah, she's a model for the whole society because I'm all the figure of the woman in general in Europe, but her consequences are the consequences of her actions on the and in Italy. Yeah, all the she's important for all society, I think.
I would like to add that her actions inspired women all over Europe at that time, not only in Italy, which was women were also progressed in other parts of Europe, not just so, she's a role model.
Now we go on with the second.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Theo. So we'll start this presentation. Introduction speech. So ladies and gentlemen, Imogen, your day at school, visualize yourself as ending your last of the day. Yes. And enthusiasm when the thought to end this long day. Well, Imogen, the better meeting, marking the end of the day. You are now making your way to your classroom door when a loud sound of explosion shatters the calm of your class, full of half asleep people, dreaming of nothing else than going back to home. Everything seems moving fast and slow at the same time. When a professor grabs you, pulling you out of your bubble and bringing you down to earth, your university is being attacked. Esteemed Mr. President and Miss Vice President, Honorable Secretary General, fill the delegates. This story is the story of a young Afghani woman named Mariam, and this day of November 2020 will forever sit in her mind as the day she has been evacuated of a place which we will all consider safe, while, I quote, bullets were flying over our heads. Dear audience, Afghanistan has become the theater of atrocities and this deprivation of the fundamental rights, which is education, to one half of the Afghani population, should not be neglected. Furthermore, these should not be looked at as in an isolated case. As in September last year, the same young woman nearly missed the blast of a suicide attack at the Cash Education Center in Kabul, which killed 25 more of her fellow students. Despite all this, she affirmed that each brush with death cemented her determination not only to pursue her own ambitions, but, I quote, the dreams of all those best friends of mine who died before my eyes. This battle is the battle that Dr. Sakina Yacoubi has chosen to fight for. She has decided to join Mariam and thousands of pioneers, as the former Afghan president, Mr. Ashraf Ghani, calls them, in a fight where they have decided to take a reckless gamble with their lives. Thence, this is with a very great pleasure that after all this dedication to a cause which is as noble as pressing, we will today present to you Dr. Sakina Yacoubi. So we will start with an introduction about Dr. Sakina Yacoubi. We will then pursue with some information about her life, her accomplishments, and why she needs some more recognition.
Dr. Sakina Yacoubi is an Afghan educator and activist who is best known for founding the Afghan Executive Building in 1995. The AIL is a non-profit organization that provides education and health services to women, children, and disadvantaged Afghans in rural and urban areas. Dr. Yacoubi received her early education in Afghanistan before moving to the United States of America to pursue her studies.
So Dr. Sakina Yacoubi was born in Herat, Afghanistan in 1953 in a Shia family. She received her early education in Afghanistan and then moved to the US in the 1970s, where she attended the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California, where she received in 1977 her bachelor's degree in biology. She then pursued her education in the Loma Linda University, where she received a master's degree in public health. Dr. Sakina Yacoubi began her career in 1989 as a high school professor and health consultant in Michigan, USA. She then pursued as a manager and coordinator in the International Rescue Committee, which is currently working with UN agencies. She then founded in 1995 the Afghan Institute of Learning, and in 1996 the Creating Hope International Association.
In 1995, Jacobi established the Afghan Institute of Learning in order to provide teacher training to Afghan women, which has since established over 350 schools and other learning centers throughout Pakistan. The organization focuses on providing education to girls and women who were denied access to education during the Taliban regime. In addition to supporting children's access to education and providing health education to families, the organization aims are to work from a grassroots level to bring education and health services to disenfranchised Afghan women, including those in rural areas and from poor families in cities. During the 90s, following the national closure of girls' schools by the Taliban, the Afghan Institute of Learning supported 80 underground home schools, providing education for 30,000 girls. Following the defeat of the Taliban in 2001, it became the first organization to open learning centers for Afghan women. In 2015, it opened a legal clinic providing free legal advice to Afghan women. Presently, the Afghan Institute of Learning provides training programs, learning centers, schools, medical clinics, and legal clinics operating in both Afghanistan and Pakistan. Accomplishments through AIL. Over a career entirely dedicated to helping others, Sakan Yuguli accomplished numerous charitable acts, such as the creation of the non-governmental organization called the Afghan Institute of Learning. Currently, across 11 provinces, the AIL runs 44 learning centers, 6 health clinics, with 14 village-based community health working posts. It offers hundreds of workshops each year on reproductive health, peace, love, and forgiveness, human rights, democracy, leadership, teacher training, and conducts conferences on peace, forgiveness, and good governance. AIL promotes Afghan culture with classes in traditional arts and crafts such as carpet weaving, miniature painting, and glasswork. To give an example, the AIL employs 5 female lawyers to assist women with free legal aid, provides food aid, has a research center. It also runs a number of other programs such as women's empowerment groups, environmental education, and youth clubs.
So throughout her life, Sakina Yakubi has been dedicated to helping others. To do so, she has decided to rise against discrimination and more globally against a huge crisis in her native country. At the risk of her life, she fought against the Taliban regime and its misogynistic way of thinking in order to ensure a better future to Pakistani and Afghani women, to Afghanistan, and to the world. Dr. Yakubi has received numerous ratings and awards, as well as a recognition for her crucial work. Furthermore, she declared that her work has a wider range of action than what we usually can expect, and also tackles a human rights issue when she announced, if we are to overcome terrorism and violence, we need education. That is the only way we can win. The UNESCO also backed up our saying by showing another issue that is being tackled by Dr. Yakubi's work by expressing. The country risks a lost generation as educated women are essential for its development. Afghanistan or any other country cannot advance if half of its population is not allowed to pursue an education and participate in public life. She received awards such as the Bill Graham Prize, 2 honorary doctorates, the National Foundation for Democracy's Democracy Prize, and has been nominated as one of the BBC's 100 Women of the Year. However, the last time that her work has been truly recognized was in 2017, Afterwards, the international scene seemed to have forgot about her at the moment she needs the most help. In fact, Taliban invaded Afghanistan and took the power in the country. The Taliban are a group of extremists which are forbidding women attending to school, playing a role in a public life, and more generally to be hired in high-skilled jobs. Thank you for your attention.
Do you have any questions?
Thank you again for your attention.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you whether or not she's also recognized for her works outside of Afghanistan.
Yeah, she has received some awards, but not many, and not so important. And you know,
Can you please list the next group to present?
Third complete.
Dear all, we are the third team criminal prize. I'd like to present you our candidate, who is Andres Alcañotis. Hello everyone, my name is Christina, and as my partner Nicola said, we are from the 13, and we will present to you our suggestions for a candidate for the Nobel Prize 2023, and that's something else. Some words about his life. Anderson Beniotis was born on the 15th of July 2002. In his early life, he started swimming competitively with success, and he's now a 20-year-old who studies in the accounting Navy. Andres is also devoted to life. The dramatic event that changed his life and left the Greek society devastated happened on the 28th of February of 2023. But let's explain what exactly happened that night. The night of 28th of February of 2023 in Larissa, Greece, occurred one of the most tragic events that Greek society has ever seen. In particular, there was a head-on-train collision between a public train, which was carrying a great amount of passengers, mostly university students, and Americans. The devastating crash resulted in the death of basically 57 people who never reached their awaited home and families. It is believed that the deadly event happened due to a human mistake in flight, a conclusion which caused civil and political unrest.
Andreas Lukanotis was actually a passenger of a train. He was one of the few passengers in the second carriage who survived that night, but except for himself, he also rescued many lives of young people. Despite the suffocating flames and the terror of the moment, Andreas kept his conscience and found a way out of the burning train. Realizing that the fire was expanding, he helped 10 to 15 people exit the train by breaking a window and jumping from a height of 3 meters.
In his own words, there were images of heavily injured people that had me, and I won't forget. I did what I had to do, what every human being should and would do. I don't want to be recognized as a hero. I'm just a normal person who happened to have a clear mind and help the other passengers. However, we believe that his bravery and devotion to human life should be rewarded in the name of all those who passed and the great treatment under society which is left behind.
Text me when you get home is actually the code that symbolizes this incident and became part of many, many protests that happened after this event in Greece. Thank you for your time. We're in the Nobel Prize Team 3. If you have any questions.
Would you know how to explain the movement texting when you get home? Because I don't really understand how that has anything to do with the incident.
So as we mentioned, the victims of this incident were actually many university students who were returning from their carnival festivities to their homes. And when you get on a train back home, your mom texts you when you get home. This message was actually never replied to, and yeah. Yes.
Do you know how he's doing right now? Is he recovered yet?
Can you repeat that?
Do you know how this guy is doing right now? Is he recovered yet?
I mean, that's something you never recover from, I think. But he hasn't taken advantage of this incident in order to become famous or something. As we said, he doesn't want to be recognized as a hero. He's just a normal guy next door who happened to be there and had the cards and the clear state of mind to actually save many people. And yeah, that's it.
As I mentioned, like physical injuries,
Yeah, he sustained some injuries and he was actually hospitalized, but he is now good.
Although it is tragic, I don't really understand how it has an impact on society, on society as a whole and not just Greece and the accident.
So we know that this candidate hasn't done any charity work, but we believe that he stood up for human rights in the most difficult, purest, and rawest way, and that's by saving many lives, not only one, but multiple. And we thank him for that, and I think, yeah.
I don't really understand. Yeah, he's a hero and everything, but I don't really understand how he contributed to the strengthening human rights.
I just
Participation, that's all.
I just said that we believe that he stood up for the human right of human life in the most possible and most courageous way, and it is one of saving lives. Okay? Thank you.
So now we will come later to generalize and give.
Sorry, I have a question.
Context?
I have a question. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm going to present banana rights, but I can do it also if I am part of the jury.
As well.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a slide share?
Yes.
Okay. You don't want to come here?
Yes, we have done it.
The organization team, could you please stop the music in the cabin?
You should open up a YouTube channel. You got a great voice,
So, hi everyone, can you hear me? Okay. So, I speak fluent. So, I'm Maria from the Italian delegation.
And I'm Flavia, also from the Italian delegation. And I'm Philip from the Portuguese delegation.
So we are going to talk about Elena Ferrante. So we'll start looking about who she is. So Elena Ferrante is a Netherlands Italian novelist, and her most famous work are the Neapolitan novels, which have been translated into many languages. And the Time magazine called Elena Ferrante one of the most influential, 100 most influential people in 216. Regarding her biography, we don't know many facts about her life because she decided to be anonymous. In some interviews, she has claimed she carried. She was born in Naples, the daughter of a seamstress, and she had three sisters. And one theory about her life is that she studied literature because of her vast knowledge of the classics.
The TV series, as a summary, is a summary of their work. My Brilliant Friend is a TV series made by Saverio Sanso, and it's based on the Elena Ferrante's books. The plot revolves around the bond of friendship between Raffaella Cerullo and Elena Greco, Lila and their sibling. There are two girls who live in a district of Naples in poverty around the 50s. The lessons that Elena Ferrantes give us are very, very important. We all know them, but sometimes we forget. The first is the importance of education. The protagonists, the two girls, are forced to fight against a patriarchal society that was were in that era. They are forced to fight against their parents in order to continue their studies because of the patriarchal culture. In the series, Elena continues to study. Instead, Lila stops studying, but she'll never lose her passion, and this is the most important thing. The second lesson is that we must fight for our dreams, because being smart is never enough. Because for achieve our goals, we have to be determined. And the two girls are both determined, and they are so different, but at the same time, they are so similar, and in their way, they are brilliant. Another important theme is the value of friendship. This is the great team around which my brilliant friend revolves. Despite the jealousy, the rivalry, Elena and they would never stop being friends. Then we have the lesson 3 that I think is the most important lesson, because it's about living for your happiness. And personal pursuit of happiness, which must never pass through the complacency of the others. In the series, Elena constantly seeks the approval of those around her, from the teacher to her boyfriend. She established with him a toxic relationship that brings to the surface another important topic, that of living as a man. That put in the background Elena and her needs. But when she started not to care about others' opinion, and she finally manages to express herself, and she redeemed herself.
So, as we have mentioned, over 20 years ago, when she published her first book, she announced that she would never do any author tours, she would never be on television, and she would never reveal her identity. So she wanted to remain as an anonymous writer, and she wanted her work to speak for herself. And she didn't do this to protect her private life, but for the sake of her work, because she believed that the art was the most important thing, and the demand for self-promotion from the authors can actually diminish the worth of the art, which in her case is her literature, her books. So she wanted to avoid the machine of publicity, as she said, and recenter criticism not on her life and her personality or something like that, but instead on her works and her books. So she wanted to remove herself from any social pressures or obligations that come with being a public figure, and also to relieve from the anxiety that comes with being a public person. And by doing this, she managed to concentrate on her writing. So she could create a space for herself where she could feel free and be active and present instead of focusing on the outside world.
So why did we decide to focus on Sorority and not on women? Well, for her work, we see the role of women, that is important, but in the past, but also in our day. The education seen as something necessary to reach a balanced and healthy and prosperous society, and the fact that her anonymity is just a demonstration of her interest to improve the society and not a way to reach freedom. Because she's not seeking for attention, but she just wanting for justice for a healthy and fair society and world. These are the sources, and that's all. Thank you. Are there any questions? Did her actions have consequences for your life or people in the press, or was it just in literature talking about all the time? Wait, can you repeat the second you Yeah, I said, did her work somehow change how things were in society, or is it just a fictional world? Well, her works and also the film, like spread more about these topics, like the role of women and the importance of education. Like, as for me, they make me understand more this kind of topics. So maybe this spreading knowledge can help someone to understand better our society, so they can help the society.
Think you should inspirational. How she believes that art is more important than the artist. But how did or does she contribute to improve human rights? I mean, does inspiring people means to contribute to human rights?
Like I said before, by spreading knowledge, because only by knowledge we can learn more.
There's a question.
Yeah, there's just one thing I just said. Something that this is obviously she's anonymous, so she didn't do something basically like the candidate before. She didn't do any speeches like the candidate from the second group, for example. It's more about what she writes about. She writes about important topics, and I think through her literature and her books, it's about the messages that she's trying to convey.
I'd like to know if Shimon has an impact on Italian literary culture and Italian minds, or if her books are also globally known and recognized.
Our books and the series have been translated in a lot of languages, so it's not only an Italian thing, but it's an international books and series, so it's not only Italian thing.
Yeah, she's appreciated in many parts of the world. Since she's anonymous and you don't know how she is in person and she may be even a bad person, would you say there's a difference between her work and you only refer to her work and not the person that she may be, since it may not apply to the impact you think her work has?
So you're asking me for really like her work or also her person, because she might be a bad person since we don't know. So if that's it more or less, then as like we, of course, there are suspicions about who she might be. There was a big controversy in 2016 because the writer supposedly found out her identity and published it. But we think that it's more important to talk about her work because that's her message and that's what she believes in than to be talking about trying to find out who she is and if she actually is a good person or not. So we want to keep also the anonymous.
Thank you. I just wanted to know if she already has been awarded or recognized in the past.
Like, I sincerely don't know, but maybe she's just won some prizes early, like she's prestigious, and she's much respected.
How can she win the Nobel Prize if she doesn't want to be in the spotlight and if she's anonymous?
She has made public announcements, just not herself, through her publishment team. And of course, if we were to give her the Nobel Prize, I don't know if she would make an appearance or something like that. But of course, she could be nominated, and then she could even decide to not accept the prize. But I think it's important, and we can nominate her anyways, even if she decides to not show up or not accept it, because as respect to her, it's her decision.
So let's say that hypothetically, she will win the Nobel Prize. How can we send her and inform her that she won the Nobel Prize if she's anonymous? We don't know where to find her. Just ask me.
So basically, we are talking about her works, not her private life. So I think your question doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah, her words are not the person she is. She's the person that we should inform and tell the world about the Nobel Prize.
Yes.
Not her words.
Do you know, do we send like a letter to the person? Because personally, I don't know how that works, so I'm not gonna talk about that specifically. But as I said in 2016, people actually, I'm pretty much sure that they discovered her identity, so that was a big controversial thing. So it could be possible to, I don't know, send her a letter, if that's what you mean, to inform her that she won. I'm not really sure how it works, but I'm sure the European Parliament can manage.
Do you believe that the one who should win the Nobel Prize is not the author but the work?
well, I think her works are a reflection of who she is, of her way of thinking, so of her part of herself.
Yes, we have done research about her works. We always said she's an anonymous writer. In fact, we don't. We have to talk about her little biography because we have all this information. But our research is about her works and the things she has done in her work, in her books.
I think no, thank you so much. Now the last presenters prize can approach.
Hi everyone. Okay, so we're the last group for group 5. My name is Avril. I'm from the European School of Strasbourg.
My name is Marina and I'm from Greece.
My name is Julia and I'm from Portugal, from Escola Vale Secundária das Fontes.
Okay, so as in 5, we selected a Greek couple, the married couple called Alex Chrysovalis and Doris. They, in their internet site, they put a code saying our mission is to connect people to themselves, each other, and to the earth through community service, walk around the world.
So Alphys and Nora, they are Greek. They studied economics at Athens University. They went working on South Africa, where they worked for 3 years, and then they started their humanitarian work. Now they are married. They are a very happy couple. They have 3 children, and they are living in the
Okay, so before we start, a little sum up of their work. They started with AfriQuest and AsiaQuest. They went to many places in Africa and Asia. Then they started the program in general, MindQuest. Then the Vol 1 of Willing to Help. This is the biggest of the programs that they're running right now. Then it was their inspiration in 2017 of a camp that we're going to talk about later. Then was the Willing to Help Vol 2 right now. And they continued with the Erasmus Plus and the Geotechnion that was inspired by the camp that we're going to see.
Okay. So Willing to Help is the biggest organization that we've created. So it's called Willing to Help because they actually raise money through crowdfunding by biking in a lot of places, and we'll see a little bit more of that later. So it was created in 2014. Since then, we've done many things that we just saw before in the timeline. And with the money that they've raised, yeah, thank you. They've been able to help rural communities from Uganda to Nepal, as well as many other communities in developing countries across the world.
Okay, so the biggest two programs that they run in their lives till now are Dream, Travel and Live and Willing to Help. We're going to talk about Willing to Help because we thought that it's the most important one and the most interesting.
So in the Willing to Help NGO, they have several programs. One of those is My Quest. My Quest is a big program, and it's where they choose a community that. I'm sorry, I'm talking too fast. Where they choose a community that they are going to help. They help many communities in Africa and also in Asia, and they travel there and they live in the community and they help them. So the main two programs that they are AfriQuest, where they help several communities in several African countries, and also AsiaQuest, which was the same thing but in Asia. They went to Nepal and to Vietnam, for instance, and their aim is to empower the populations and help them have the tools that they need to solve their problems.
Okay, so what exactly is Willing to Help? So we've already explained the name and when it started, but how it started that we haven't touched yet, so let's get into it. So basically, Willing to Help started out just as a crazy idea. Sorry. So it all started when both Dora and Elvis were living in Cape Town in South Africa. And they decided that they would follow along on their dream, a passion of theirs, which was to help people. And so with this goal in mind, they decided to travel across first Africa and then Asia to help out different communities. So today, Willing to Help is a nonprofit organization that aims to inspire and initiate young people into volunteering through social actions in Greece and abroad. So they really touch on every single subject in the communities in which they live throughout these 10 days, because these are very short programs, but they talk about water and food access, they talk about youth and women empowerment, they really try to help the community help itself. And we'll talk a teeny bit more about that later as well.
So what exactly is My Quest? My Quest are 10-day trips, missions to developing countries like Evelyn and Julia said, in Africa, Asia, and many other places that really need their help. They select some people that they want to volunteer, and they take them with them in those countries. And this team work together with the residents on those important issues like building water wells or building health centers, schools, etc. Dora and Elvis live with these people inside their lives, like they live with their way, their culture, their everything, and they tend to spend only $10 or euros, countries are no, yeah, per day.
Yeah, so I don't know if we mentioned that, but they really strive to empower the people, and not for them. This is not charity work. It's really helping the people help themselves. So that's why they also want to live the way that these people do. That's why they try to integrate the community as much as they possibly can.
So this program happens normally between November and March. Everybody can apply to these projects. They have several like projects with young people, everybody actually can really help. There's no age limit because every one of us can give something to the other people. We all have different qualities and characteristics. We can all be useful in a different way. So they organize every year, they go to a new country, to a new community. There will be new projects this year if you're interested to work on them. And yeah, they are not really doing this for charity. They are doing this because they understand that we don't choose who we are. We don't choose to, when we are born, we don't choose to be born in a rich family. We don't choose to be born in a country that has hunger or other diseases. And so it's really a rational thing to understand that we don't earn it. And if we don't earn it, we have the obligation to help, you know? It's not a question of charity.
Okay, so then they also participate in Erasmus Plus. So willing to help participate in youth mobility programs. So this is Erasmus Plus, in fact. And this, contrary to MyQuest and other programs, this is age restricted, so you have to be between the ages of 18 and 30. And this is mainly to help educate young people and broaden their horizons and make them learn about the world and other cultures through their own experience. It's also so that they can learn new things about other people and meet these new people as well. So this is less about helping people in need. This is more about education. And below is a quote from their website, and they say their goal is a world made up of active citizens with an awakened conscience, strong social interests, environmental responsibility, and moral values such as solidarity, justice, and freedom. So this is the aim of Erasmus Plus, and by the time these people are done with the program, they're supposed to be good citizens that partake in and actively in today's society.
The last large project that we did like recently in 2021, it's called Children. It's a camp in the base of Willing to Help in Greece, and it's located at Nissi in Regis Fiotina. It operates from April to October, and Juliet's gonna talk us about it.
Here in Japan is a glamping space. Everybody can like go there and for vacation, for instance, but it is not just that. It is a space where they promote several classes, for instance, languages classes, art classes, art classes. It is a space where they promote their community and where everybody, it's free actually, you know, so everybody can have access to these activities. And many times, not all people have access to them. It's something more for like the Greek community where they are. But it's also a place where they recruit the people that will do my quest with them, and the Erasmus Plus students also go there. It's like the base of everything. It's where it starts, where they plan things, and then they go help in Asia and in Africa.
So apart from these, they've also had many other accomplishments. They've raised more than 4,600,000 euros from a lot of people who support the project, and they've managed with that money to help orphanages in South Africa and Ethiopia, equip an infirmary in Tanzania, build classrooms, playgrounds, and libraries in Kenya, Cambodia, and Vietnam, built a huge greenhouse in the earthquake-stricken areas of Nepal, helped 1,200 people have tools to drink clean water in a village in Sudan.
Something more about their work is that it's really amazing that on September 2015, they cycled from London to Athens in 35 days, raising much money in this war for children with neoplastic flake disease. The next year, they started their journey from Istanbul to Heraklion in Greece by bike with a single purpose, raising many more money to buy 100 wheelchairs. So their goal was to help people again, and especially children for with need. Sorry.
So how you heard in the previous slides, they have a lot of accomplishments, and well, they are the main reason for them to win the Nobel Prize. They are not a very well-known couple, like in terms of their humanitarian work, and they are still young, so they will continue to do this humanitarian work, and we really think that winning this prize would widen their action and give them more visibility and more tools to help more people. They help all across the world, Africa, Asia, and also their specific community. So I think they have a very full work.
So we think that these people have many reasons why they should win the Nobel Prize, and we've explained some of them in the last slide. But we also think that these people, they're young, they have their whole life ahead of them. They can still do so much more than they've already done, and this final recognition would help them pursue it, pursue their work, continue helping communities in need and children across Europe and different continents. They've helped a lot of people. They are relevant to today's society. They are not anonymous. They're actual people, and they're active in society, and they continue to be. And the selflessness and this devotion to helping people should really be recognized and heard. So, yeah.
I have some questions. First thing, in the MyClass project, it's all about building things, or it also has a lot, you also talk about concept and impact, but the things they do in the MyClass project is building things.
Well, they have built a lot of things, not only buildings, but also other tools, for instance, to the community students to have access to clean water. So yes, they do a lot of building things, but a building has a purpose. So when you are building things, you are not just building, you are not just doing the infrastructure. When you build a school, you are also giving education. So it's not just about building, it's about the whole thing that comes with it.
And where could you please elaborate and help people help themselves?
Okay, so this kind of links back to your first question. So they don't just build, they really see the process through. So from the start, they help the people, and they don't just say, they come into a village and say, oh, you guys don't have a school, let's build a school. They ask the people, what do you want? What are you missing? What would help your community? And they also, give education to children. But as I mentioned earlier, they also, help women. They empower them. They don't just build. They make sure that it's really seeing to the end and that the project actually helps people.
Thank you. Do you know what happened after they brought it back, or didn't participate and help them anymore with their project?
Yeah, basically, they go back usually to the same communities, so maybe not every year, but they do go back to these people and check up on them and make sure that the money that they've given them and the infrastructures that they built with them have been used and have their purpose. So yeah, they do make sure that it's helpful and that it's needed also.
Any other questions?
So I want to start by saying that all the proposed candidates were inspiring, some more than others, but in my opinion they are the most appropriate supported and qualified because of their continuing work around the world. My question is, how did they decide to start this quest? So help me over.
So we talked about that, but this couple they knew each other from the university that they went to in economics and Athens. But then they worked together for 3 years in Cape Town. It's like in Africa. In South Africa, yeah. And they once those hard conditions that those people live in, they lived literally with them. And that's one day, one Sunday, they decided to, let's start that. And we saved some money and we can do something with that to help all the community.
Yeah, I think they are really connected to people and to nature. Since they are economists, they study like economy and money. I think that maybe they value more the necessity of these communities that they are helping. So they went to Cape Town, they gained some money while they were there, and then they decided, well, let's go to Greece from here, from Cape Town, and they went like walking and catching a ride. Only how she said only costing €5 per day, and I think that when they crossed Africa, they really understood what were the main problems and what they could and should do.
Anyone else?
Thank you, guys.
And now there will be a 10-minute break.
We take a short break just for you to take rest, drink some water, go to the toilet.